Hey, sheacedthat listeners, find us on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Every subscribe, like, and follow goes a long way, and I can't thank you all enough for your support. And with that, let's get into today's episode. Hey, everybody, welcome back to sheacedthat. It's your host, Alexandra, and today it's just us. No guest, no interview prep, just me sitting here with all of you. And I wanted to take this week and do a solo episode. We've had so many guests, and I do love the guest podcasts I get to do and the interviews I get to do. It just changes things up, gives different topics, different experiences. I've just wanted to take a break. The guests will come back next week. I was thinking the other day, it kind of hit me. And I started Chase That back in July, over 3 months ago. And sometimes I sit here and I have, real life stuff going on. I have a full-time job. I have a child. I have a husband. I have a house. I have a whole plate of people in my life that I feel so blessed to have. And I feel like, I think it's normal as a parent in general and, working full time, but especially with this type of side gig as well, I just feel like I never have enough time. And I think that's normal regardless of your situation. I took a step back last week and just was processing the past few months of starting Chase That and where I'm at now, the people I've been able to connect with, the conversations I've been able to have that have been incredible. And I finally came to the recollection, like, how did I even get here? Over 3 months ago, I hit the record button for the first time, having no clue where this was going to lead and no idea how long I was going to be committed to this. I mean, I was hoping long term, but life things pop up, reality hits. And now here we are, episode after episode, building something I couldn't have even imagined. I also had to give myself a little bit of credit. I haven't missed an episode since I started this. Every single week I've recorded, edited, lined up guests, coordinated with guests, done social media posts, have conversations with brands, navigate so many things behind the scenes than what all of you see. And I was like, wow, like that is an accomplishment in itself, even amidst all the craziness. And that was something I think I needed to realize. And sometimes we just have to sit back and we're so into our day-to-day lives. We're so into the grind and the routine, and we forget often the highlights and milestones that have happened during that time we're just running in a rat race. Last week, I was trying to edit an episode and was having technical difficulties, and I was up till midnight a few nights in a row, and my son wasn't feeling too great. Work was insane. And I was sitting there trying to fix certain technical issues for like the third day in a row, when I could have already probably had the episode uploaded and out. I kind of just sat there and I was like, I know this has been the worst of the technical issues inside of that, but I was like, what am I doing? Like, am I capable of spending this much time on this for forever? And then I was like, okay, Alexandra, hold up. Like, we don't need to change anything at the moment. It's just one of those weeks that you were at your max capacity. And what are you going to do to make sure that you're still mentally, emotionally, physically well for yourself that week? Like, yes, I want to commit to putting stuff out there for all of you. At the end of the day, I had to recognize, like, I'm doing all of this for a reason. And it's been incredibly rewarding, regardless of the hard work behind the scenes. And it is okay. It's okay if I would have had to miss a week of an episode. At the end of the day, nobody knows if you missed a post. I feel like this is a normal life thing for everybody, but I promised myself to start saying no to things, have a little bit of a break as fall came around. Summer's always crazy, and I just really wanted to allow things to settle and try to create more time when I feel like I'm not having enough time whatsoever. And that didn't happen. So if anything, things have gotten crazier. Things have gotten even bigger in multiple ways in every aspect of my life. I do think it's a beautiful thing to be busy. I thrive on making plans, being busy, even though I also regret it at the same time. I've also learned that good things take time. And also sometimes I'm like, why does everything take so much time? But seriously, I mean, one of these episodes, even if it's 30 minutes, it can take hours of preparation, recording, editing, posting, promoting. engaging. And I'm doing this in margins. I'm doing this during lunch breaks after my kid goes to bed, in the morning, waking up early. But what I discovered about myself throughout the chaos is I have more determination than I ever actually give myself credit for. Gosh, when that editing software crashes for the fourth time, or when I'm so exhausted I can't even think straight and I could easily skip a week, something in me just doesn't quit. It doesn't want to quit. It wants to do all of this, yeah, for me, but also for all of you. This is just my safe place. This is your safe place. And this is something that we get to continue to build together. And you know what? Like, progress isn't linear. Some weeks I feel like I get all these signs of validation and like great interviews, smooth editing, engaging posts, a lot of amazing feedback. And then other weeks I'm just kind of in survival mode, trying to get things done, not really thinking through the positives of all that I've created. Sometimes I'm posting at 11:59 p.m. on the Tuesday before the Wednesday podcast drops. Sometimes I get anxious, and other times I'm like, this is what you're meant to do. And I love the signs that show me this is what I meant to do. You learn in life, you adapt in life, you find out better equipment and better software to use, and you keep going. And so I hope if you take anything from this is like, don't let something hold you back. I could have easily quit this podcast after a couple weeks. You need months, sometimes years, to really build something and build that foundation. And I will say that's the one thing I'm working on. I am a patient person, but when it comes to my progress, I have had to really accept that patience is a virtue. Time can build great things. And then I have these pinch me moments. I'm like, they just make everything worth it. Like Coach Kelsey, Michigan State head volleyball coach. Over 13 years ago, I would go to the Michigan State volleyball games with my high school team. And I was that freshman in high school sitting in the stands at Michigan State watching these girls at a level much higher than I ever thought achievable. And I was watching her set. I went to her game and she was everything I wanted to be in a player. It was her and the libero at the time that always stood out to me. And the libero ended up going to the Olympic team, and Coach Kelsey ended up going on and coaching at incredible programs and now is a head coach at a D1 college. And fast forward to the past month, I was able to interview her and have an actual genuine conversation about coaching philosophy, life, the sport we both love. And her insight and passion just like reignited that fire. Like, yes, was I so excited to just have time with her? Like, that's a dream in itself. That was, I think, one of the biggest things I could have accomplished with this podcast is having somebody like her here. But it doesn't just limit to her. Like, I am able to give a voice to people who really deserve it. And it was just so amazing to have that passionate conversation through something that we both loved. And honestly, that's why I started this. Like, I want to talk to people who are passionate about similar things as me. I feel like every single guest I've had on so far has taught me something. I've left every guest interview with the biggest smile. Like, it's always a reminder of why I'm doing this and the feedback that I get from the conversations we have, how much the guests enjoy it. Besides creating a community for all of you to ask questions and talk and have an open space as parents, players, coaches, bystanders, after each guest interview, that feeling that me and the guests both have is exactly why I started this too. And everybody needs that, whether you're passionate about a different sport, whether you're passionate about reading, whether you're passionate about school, whether you're passionate about anything, like anything in this huge world, find somebody who equally, if not more, has the same passion as you. It just changes your perspective on everything. And a lot of people are passionate in this world, as we all know, but it's one of those things that sometimes we're passionate against each other, sometimes we're passionate in ways that aren't actually helpful. But when you can take that passion and use it as a catalyst to help others, it's an unexplainable feeling. So if you don't have somebody out there who you are able to connect with and feel that sense of empowerment after a conversation, find them, because it's worth it. And I do need to get into the bittersweet Michigan State game. We were sitting in the stadium. My brother and sister came who go to Michigan State. My husband came. It was like, it felt like it was a night for me that they all just wanted to support. And watching those girls when the lights went down, the vibe of the stadium, I did have a little bit of a moment, and the realization hit me. I will never be on that court as a D1 volleyball player. And it's not that I always strived for that. Obviously, that was a dream. You want a scholarship for sports. You want to excel so much that you're able to make a collegiate level team. Doesn't mean it has to be D1, doesn't mean it has to be D3, doesn't even mean it can't be on the club team, which I was and was so lucky to be a part of. But the specific dream of playing D1 volleyball at that level in that type of environment is gone. It took me a minute to sit with that feeling, to like really process like the amount I would love to do this and be a part of that. But I realized I'm exactly where I need to be with all of you, impacting people in ways that I never imagined. There's still so much more to come, but I think there is a beauty in not knowing what the future holds. Because if you told me a year ago, I would have interviewed the Michigan State head volleyball coach. I would have interviewed a professional volleyball player. I would have reconnected with some of the coaches and players that I've had in the past. And I've been able to create this platform for all of you. I would have been like, dang, where'd you get time for that? I just really wanted to thank all of you and just to express that if you're ever wanting to start something, do it. Like literally just do it. And I do want to talk about, I don't know why it keeps consistently popping up, maybe because I'm looking at the comments, but I have been seeing a lot of negativity on social media about girls in volleyball, specifically high school right now. There's a lot of trends and posts that talk about how miserable these girls are on their teams or in their programs. For me, I love that people are able to be vocal on social media. I want everybody to speak their mind. I want it to be open and honest and being able to ask the hard questions. But I think it caught me off guard seeing how many athletes out there, especially in volleyball, are so unhappy. Whether they hate their coaches, they hate their teammates, they don't appreciate their position on the court, their playing time. It made me realize that, like, obviously so many of those girls are beyond valid probably and in a crappy situation, but my mindset has always been remembering the positive and what the sport gave me, what the coaches gave me, the friends I made that are lifelong friends for forever, the empowerment of getting a kill, the empowerment of moving, like being grateful to move and be a part of a team that so many people would kill to be a part of. And it just made me sad. And I just feel like sometimes, we need to let it out. We need to vent about the things that are negatively impacting us in our teams and with our coaches. But I also think there is a point where it is really only on us to make it better for ourselves and find ways to have successful interactions, find ways to cope with the negativity versus just focusing on it. Which leads me to another point, and there really isn't enough talking in volleyball about making it to the higher levels and how to actually get there. Like the conversations I've had with collegiate athletes, college coaches, or professional players, they just had, I swear they had this determination and plan to make it there, and they found the ways to do it. I know part of it's luck and visibility and, connections and making sure that you have that visibility, but I think a lot of us sit in high school and we either lose the passion, right, because of team dynamics or coaches, or we don't know the right avenues to get there to a higher level. And even these collegiate girls, like I'm sure half of them aren't like set on even looking into playing professional after college. They're like, oh, I'm playing college and then I'm done. It's like, no, there's so many ways to continue the sport after grade school or after club or, after college, after professional. And it doesn't even have to be at that high of a level, but I do just want to put it out there, like there's never a point where you have to stop playing the sport you love at a competitive level. And I do notice a lot of girls just accept it versus even looking at the next potential opportunity. And this community we're building here is just different than anything I've seen. I've had players reach out if they should accept a spot. I've had a conversation with a parent that their club volleyball politics created a really tough situation and tried to help virtually navigate it with her. And I just love the fact that I'm able to virtually coach. And we're not even just talking about volleyball. Like this is sports in general. We're talking about life through the lens of sports and about resilience, about growth, about finding yourself through something you love. And the only person at the end of the day that matters is you. What's been the most rewarding is talking with people who are just as passionate and informed about the sport or being an athlete in general. Like when I interviewed Bella Bergmark, she's a professional volleyball player. And there were moments where we were so deep in technical discussion and I was like, this is it. Like, this is this is what others need to hear, especially at her level, like even her giving insight to other professionals. And every single person I've interviewed has said something that completely changed how I see this sport, how I see athletes, coaches, parents, players. I mean, I have learned something from every podcast I've posted, whether that's been a solo episode or with guests. And there's different philosophies, there's different mental approaches in life, ways of handling failure. And these aren't just interviews to me, they're the most insightful conversations that I could have ever imagined. Again, just feel honored to have them. So with that, club season is coming up quick, and I have so many thoughts on club. It's a totally different dynamic than high school. You're getting used to a new team. You probably already know what team you're on. You probably don't even know any girls on your team potentially, but I have so many thoughts. And so we'll definitely have to get into like the expense, the travel, the burnout, but also the incredible opportunities and growth it provides. We have some amazing guests lined up too, people who are staples in the volleyball world who are going to blow your minds. But more than that, I do want to eventually dig into the topics that, aren't talked about enough, like the politics in sports, the mental health struggles, a lot of athletes having some sort of eating disorder, the pressure we put on young athletes and ourselves, the parents living through their kids, the real cost emotionally and financially of chasing our dreams. And there's so many things that we have left to discuss. And I'm really excited for the future and to help all of you. And here's something I'm still kind of working on is like being okay with good enough instead of being perfect, right? Like you can come on here and you can try to be a robot and you can try to read off a script, but the perfectionism in me wants every episode to be flawless and every episode to be seamless and everything laid out for like a year and get ahead and every conversation to be like the most profound thing. But that's just not real life. Like I'm definitely a perfectionist, but I also recognize that right now I don't have the capacity to be, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, in anything. Like any aspect of my life right now can't be perfect. I don't have the time for it to be perfect. And what I want you to take from that is that sometimes good enough is good enough. You don't have to do 110% for everything. You don't even have to do 100% for everything, especially if I'm editing an episode at midnight to post the next day and my toddler finally fell asleep, like after waking up again, and I have a 7 a.m. meeting in the morning and I have to go grocery shopping and I have to get laundry done. There's all these variables in this crazy life that the balance struggle is real. I don't have the time for the people that I love every day. I don't have the time every week, every month. And I just want to normalize that chaos for everybody listening. Like you might not have kids yet, you might not have a side job, but whether you're a parent trying to support your athlete, coach juggling multiple teams, or player trying to balance sports and school and life, it's okay to not have it all together all the time. And I also want to note that this isn't just my podcast anymore. It's ours. So I need feedback from you. Like what topics are we not talking about that we should be, that I haven't even stated before? Who in your volleyball world needs to be heard? I would love names from all of you. We're hitting college coaches. We're hitting professional athletes. We're going to be hitting Olympic players and coaches and organization leaders and club owners and like parents. Like we have so much left, but who in your world you want to be heard? If you're thinking about sharing your story or know someone who should, let me know. Hit me up, DM me, email me. You can find me at sheacedthat on all social medias. You can email me at sheacedthat@gmail.com. Send it in the mail. I don't know, like whatever works, but this safe space we're building, you're not just welcomed here, you're needed here. So that's really all I have for today. I just wanted time with you guys. Just a reminder, 3 months ago, I was terrified. I didn't know where things were headed. Still terrified sometimes, but I'm doing it anyway. And that's the thing about passion. It's stronger than fear. It's stronger than imposter syndrome. It's stronger than technical difficulties and midnight editing sessions and cold coffee. Well, people like cold coffee, so I can't dish that one. But you don't always need everybody in your life to be your number one supporter either. I appreciate the people out there that like and follow me and share my posts and comment. And that's all free. Like, that is supporting a small business for free, and it shows a lot when people are doing that in your day-to-day lives. I don't need them to. I feel like I've created this community without asking many people to do anything for me from a support standpoint, but the ones who have and the ones who are listening right now, you know who you are. Thank you. Like, I truly can't thank you enough. If you are waiting for the perfect time to start something, if you're sitting on a dream because you don't feel qualified or ready, this is your sign to stop waiting. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to start. Thank you. And I mean this truly from the bottom of my heart. Like, it's so easy to be like, thank you all for listening every week, but truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here, for listening, for sharing, for trusting me with your stories, for building this community with me, for DMing me, for giving me the best feedback I could ask for. It's been more than I could have ever imagined. And we're just getting started. Next week, we're back with an incredible guest. But for today, thanks for letting me just be real with you and be with you. Thanks for letting me share the mess and the magic of this journey. And again, don't hold yourself back from trying anything. Like, now is the time. Now is the time to start a podcast. Now is the time to start your own club. Now is the time to do what you've always been longing for and had an instinct that you need to fulfill. Until next time, thanks for joining sheacedthat this week, and we'll see you all next Wednesday.